And I remember my mum coming and being like, what on earth has happened? Just all this dark hair everywhere. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So this is something a bit different, and I've seen a few people do it and do different versions of this. I just thought it'd be really fun, and I've gone through a lot recently to do with my hair, which was in my lupus video, but I'll also go into in this video. And it's just had me thinking a lot about my hair over the years, and since I think this video is probably going to be too long, I'm going to just get straight into it. So this is my hair history. I'm going to include photos as we go along so you can see every single hairstyle that I've had, which is going to be a lot of fun. Some of them will be funny, some of them are amazing, and yeah, let's just get started. So I was born with really dark hair. I had a lot of hair and it was really curly. I was like a proper little curly tot as a toddler and growing up. And when I got into like primary school, I had one of those classic 90s kids home cut fringe. Mine wasn't the worst I've ever seen. In fact, I think it quite suited me. I think it was just a way to keep my hair off of my face because I had so much hair at that point, and it was quite unruly and still is. Like, it gets tangled easily. My mum always says I screamed if she brushed it. So yeah, I had really long, thick, dark hair, and as I grew it out, it started to straighten itself out, but then every time it's wet, it would go back curly, and it still does that now actually. Like, if I was to wash my hair and then just leave it to air dry, it just naturally, without even touching it, it just naturally like goes curly, it just curls itself. Which I kind of like because it's never really changed, and I like that. I got to like age 12 and I remember saying to my mum, I want to cut my hair. And my hair was like really long at this point. And thick and dark, and my mum loved doing my hair and I loved her doing my hair, and she was really creative with my hair. Like, she used to do like the high bunchies that the Spice Girls had, but she'd plait in like coloured ribbon, and she'd do like plaited buns, double buns. She was just really great at doing my hair. My mum had some experience as a hairdresser, so she always cut my hair, and actually now I get her to cut my hair when it's just a trim. But yeah, at 12 I was like, I want to cut my hair, so I had it cut by my mum. I felt like the baddest bitch in town. I thought I was really cool, I thought I looked really grown up, I thought I looked different, I thought no one's going to recognise me. I don't know, I just really wanted to change. My hair had just been long and been growing for so long, I got bored, and I was growing up and I was just like, we need to cut this hair. And when I got to age 14, on my birthday, I asked my mum for my birthday, could we please go to a professional hairdresser and get my hair cut. And for the first time that I'd been to a proper hairdresser's, we went to Tony and Guy. She took me on my actual birthday in the morning, and I think she just thought I was going to get it like styled, and I was like, I want it all gone. Like, I want a really short bob, like really short up the back to like my nape, and then coming down. Like, I really want that. I really want it all gone. Something totally different than what all my friends have got, something totally out of the box for me so far with my hair. And my mum was like, are you sure? And when she was cutting it, she was like, oh, do you want to go any shorter? And I was like, yes, keep going shorter. And my mum was more nervous than I was. I just wanted to keep going shorter. And I absolutely loved it. And I remember on my birthday, after there, I went straight to the cinema where I was with my boyfriend, because we were together from the age of 14. And all my friends, and everyone loved it, and I just felt fantastic. At age like 16, it had grown out, and it was just, again, like kind of like a shoulder length, no style to it. I just felt really boring, and I said to my mum, no, I'm going back to the hairdressers and I'm getting it even shorter. So I did. I got it all the way up to the back of my like nape of my neck again, but the front was even shorter than before, and because I wanted to be able to like spike it. I actually really wanted to be able to do like a little mohawk. That's just what I was obsessed with. But again, I felt fabulous. I absolutely loved it. I felt cool, I felt different, and it was just a way of me expressing myself, really. I'd already by this point started dyeing my hair. I remember the first time I said to Mum, I really want to dye my hair, like I really want a cool coloured hair, and she was like, but you can't because of school. My school didn't allow anything but natural hair colours. So during the summer my mum was like, I tell you what, I'll put in a semi-permanent red, and that's the first time I ever dyed my hair, and it was like a bright red and I absolutely loved it. I don't know if I've got any photos of it though, because that was at like an awkward age, and I just don't remember taking a lot of photos, and like phones didn't have cameras, and when I was, because this was actually before I was 16, but anyway, it washed out before I went to school, so it was fine. So back to when I was 16, I went to the hairdresser and I was like, do something crazy. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm giving you free reign, like, do what you want. I was just like, I want it to be asymmetrical. That's really what I wanted, asymmetrical. Just something no one else has ever seen. Like, just you create a new hairstyle on me, do what you want, go mad. And honestly, it's still to this day one of my favourite hairstyles I've ever had. I thought I was the coolest person in town, and yeah, I just adored it. Eventually that hairstyle grew out, and I considered going back and getting it recut in because of how much I loved it, but I was like, no, why would I do the same thing twice? Like, I've got my whole life, let's try something new. And I just got the itch for it. I was at home, everyone had gone out, I was literally home alone. This is when I was about 17, and my hair was probably like down to here, just like thick down to here, no real style where it had grown out. So I decided that I really missed the asymmetrical. I really loved having that. It just felt very me at the time. So I cut one half of my hair to my jaw level, and then left the other side down here, and then did the back like a slope that was very wonky because I was home alone trying to cut my hair for the first time ever. I'd never cut my own hair before. And I cut it all the way around, and it was this asymmetrical, and I cut in a fringe, and I just thought it was, again, I just thought it was the coolest thing. I loved it. My mum came home and was mortified because I hadn't got a chance yet to clean up all the hair. So I'd gone upstairs to shower and like get rid of all the excess hair off of me. And I remember my mum coming and being like, what on earth has happened? Just all this dark hair everywhere. And I came down and she was like, oh my god, you've cut half your hair. And she was like, did you just not like bother to do it? Did you get bored about it the second time? And I was like, no, this is what I want. She had to like straighten up the back a bit, but I did a pretty good job, and I again loved it. When I was in like sixth form, you had a bit more free reign, so then I started really playing around with dyeing my hair. It was all semi-permanent, but I loved like reds, purples, those blacky blues that you could get. I went black a couple of times, and then I went back to like brown. I just had a lot of fun like dyeing my hair every different colour. I also then started experimenting with fringes. After cutting in my own fringe and being very fond of it, I then cut in full fringes and side fringes and all different fringes just to play around, and I cut it myself, and I felt great. No one could tell me I didn't look great with those hairstyles. I let my hair grow out after that. I was going on holiday, my first holiday with my friends to Magaluf. I wanted slightly longer hair for when I was on holiday and for when I started university. So I just grew it out, and I really got into big wavy hair. My mum and dad got me for Christmas this like waver, which I still use, so you would have seen my hair like it in some videos. It's not like a crimper, it's a really big wave, and I loved that. I just felt sexy and grown up, and when I was like 18 it was just my jam. I loved it. I loved big wavy hair. But then, and this will be a theme throughout this video with this particular friend of mine, my best friend, who's still my best friend, came to visit me at uni for the first time. It was the first time we'd seen each other since we both went our separate ways and went to uni, because we went to school together. We went to stage school when we were 4 together. We went to secondary school together, sixth form together, and then we were split up at uni. We went to 2 different unis that were ages away from each other, but she came to visit me, and I said, oh, I'm so bored of my hair again, it's just like grown out, it's not really a style. I really wanted to go like the shortest I've ever gone, so I said that to her, and she was like, oh my god, I've been really wanting to try my hair too. And she was like, let's just do it. let's just go now. We went to the Tony and Guy that was in town, and we did it just on a spur of a moment. Let's just do it. We both got our hair cut, and I finally got the pixie haircut that I'd always wanted. I'd always wanted a really short pixie haircut. Everyone told me I regret it, but I always had this attitude about my hair that like it'll grow back, like, and it's just hair. It never ever was. I was never one of those people where my hair was my like safety blanket. I really didn't care. I was like that's why I played so much with scissors and dye, like, because I didn't really care how it turned out. Even when things went wrong with my hair when I was doing it myself, I didn't really care. I was like, I can rock it, like. And so I finally got the pixie haircut that I wanted. It was really short. I felt like Peter Pan. I kept saying to everyone, I'm Peter Pan. I liked it, the like androgynous kind of feel it had. I loved that. I actually felt really sexy with that really short hair. I just felt, it just suited me at that point in my life, and I tell you what, it was the perfect thing to do for a hungover student that has no time, because I had to have a job the whole way through uni, and then I was at uni full time, and I did extracurricular stuff at uni as well, and so it was just exhausting. So it was great. I could just literally get up and it would just be fine. And also, if I showered in the morning, by the time I got to my lecture, it was dry because I had like no hair. So I absolutely loved it. And it's funny because that also, the next day, was the first time my parents and my family had come to visit me, like properly, since I'd been away at uni. Because obviously you start at the beginning of September, and they wanted to give me some time to settle in and stuff, but my parents were also very keen to come and check that I wasn't dying at uni, because I moved quite far away, and they came down and I didn't tell them, and they were so shocked. Like, I'd gone from having this like long wavy big hair to literally like no hair. Like, I loved it, and actually they liked it. It was very me, and yeah, maybe I just love to shock people. When it started growing out again, I got bored, so I dyed it purple for quite a while actually, like a really dark, semi-permanent purple colour. When it started growing out again, I got bored, so I dyed it purple for quite a while actually, like a really dark, semi-permanent purple colour. Which stayed for a little while actually, it kept me interested. I've always loved purple hair. Then eventually the dye faded and it went a bit of a weird colour, so I bought awful extensions, they were awful, and hair dye that the actual extensions had been dyed with, and I dyed my hair to match the extensions, and I wore them and they looked awful. They didn't match. The texture of my hair and the texture of the extensions was so different, it just was not good. It just was not good, but I felt like a fancy lady with my long hair. And yeah, I also felt very like scene kid, which as a teenager I was very scene kid. I had my Lego haircut, as you saw. Yeah, I was into the big MySpace fringes. In fact, I then cut in a MySpace fringe. And then it got to beginning, like all through summer, I was wearing my extensions and my big ass fringe, and then it got to starting the second year of uni, and I was like, I really want to go back looking different. Maybe I do like to shock people. I often change my hair when my life is changing, do you know what I mean? Like, something big happens and I change my hair. That has been a phase, a thing with like a pattern throughout my life. And I was about to start the second year of uni, and I was like, I want to do something drastic, so I dyed it jet black. I cut it short, like a blunt all the way around, same length all the way around bob, and then I cut a blunt fringe in. Looked a bit like a helmet at times. But again, it just suited me at the time. I then kind of was changing up the way I dressed as well, and it really suited the way I wanted to dress. And again, having short hair at uni was just easy. I started to leave it to grow out because I had this big grand idea of how I wanted to do my hair. I had this hairstyle in my head, and that was exactly what I wanted. I wanted a big MySpace fringe, what I call MySpace fringe. I wanted it to be like this long but like blunt, and then I wanted it to be black and then dip dyed like bright luminous purple, and that was my dream. So I started working on that, had to grow it out, let the dye fade, dye it dark, then bleached the ends, and the ends went, obviously because my hair's so dark, went bright orange, and I was doing it at home. They went bright orange, which I actually kind of loved. I rocked for a while, like I could have just dyed it purple straight away or bleached it again, but I left it. I was like, I felt like my hair was on fire, like the orange to the dark. I don't know, I loved it and I felt really cool. And then I got the purple. The purple that I bought originally was like a lilac, and not knowing what I know now, I tried to put the lilac over the orange. Obviously it didn't work, so I bought a bright purple and put it on, and I finally had my hair that I dreamed of. And yeah, I just rocked it for as long as I could. When the ends started to go like a bit gross and the colour was fading and the orange was coming back through, I was like, no. So I cut the dead bits off that had been bleached, dyed it all one colour again, and left it to grow out. I really now had the bleach bug. Like, bleaching my ends, I was like, everyone had convinced me, you'll bleach your hair and it'll fall out, because it hadn't. I was like, no, I just want to bleach my whole entire head. I kept wussing out though. Every time I went to go and bleach my hair, I was like, I'm scared. It was my real dream to be platinum blonde. I grew it out and I just got so bored. I was just like, this is so boring, I hate it, I need to do something with my hair. And again, my best friend, I saw her after not seeing her for a while. I needed to go into town, I went with her, we were chilling, hanging out, and then we went into Boots and she was just like, I'm going to bleach your hair today. And I was like, what? And she was like, I'm bleaching your hair today. You won't shut up about it, you've wanted to do it for as long as I can remember. I'm going to do it, we're doing it, that's it. And I was like, no! But yes, and we bought the hair dye, we bought the bleach, we actually bought like 2 boxes of blonde, like platinum blonde hair dye, and then a bleach kit. And yeah, I sat in Robin's living room and she bleached my hair and we washed it out and it went bright orange. And obviously we put the blonde dyes over and it did nothing. So I went home that night without having planned doing that, from hair like this to like bright orange hair. I remember I didn't tell anyone either. My mum opened the door. I'm really realising that I like the shock factor. I never knew that about myself. You learn something new every day. My mum opened the door and was like, what the? And then Dad came to the door because he heard her and was like, oh my god. I was like, I've got orange hair. And I just started a new job and I literally didn't care. I went into the work with bright orange hair. I thought it was pretty cool. I wasn't bothered at all. I was like, this is me. You'll accept me as I am, because everyone had said to me, don't bleach it again like the next day, give it a little while to recover. So I was like, my hair means more than like your opinion, so I'm gonna rock orange hair. And I did for a while. Then we eventually bleached it and it went like yellow, like Simpson yellow, which again I didn't really mind, and I'd always had in the back of my mind that I wanted to go like bright luminous yellow at one point in my life, so I didn't really mind the yellow. But eventually I went into Toni & Guy, and it's funny because I'd actually originally gone into Toni & Guy before I saw Robin and asked like how much it would cost, what would the process be for doing my hair, and they were adamant they would not bleach my hair. It's too long, it's too thick, it's too dark. We wouldn't want to do it, it'd ruin your hair, it would look awful, blah blah blah. But then when I had this bright yellow hair, I went in there and was like, can you please make me a nice icy, ashy, like cool toned, platinum white hair, please? And they did it. They literally didn't ask any questions, they did it for me. I was obsessed with being blonde. It was like, gave me a new lease of life. I felt like a different person. It felt sassy. It matched me. Like, everyone said they were worried that it wouldn't suit me or that it would wash me out because I am really pale, but everyone said it just suits your personality. Like, it just was sassy and a bit more fabulous and fun, and I loved that. And so I was constantly going and getting my roots touched up, and then I had this awful experience with Toni & Guy where my hairdresser hadn't turned up because she was pregnant and she had to go to the doctors or something, so she hadn't turned up. So I got this random other hairdresser who, it burnt my scalp and it broke off some of my hair. So I had like broken bits of hair that were literally like this short sticking up at the top of my head, and it burnt my scalp. So then that kind of put me off. I definitely didn't want to go back to Toni & Guy. and I wasn't sure about bleaching it anymore. So like, not only did it really hurt, but it also looks awful, so it really put me off. Then I decided, right, well, I actually always liked the like grunginess of my really dark roots with the blonde hair. Like, so then I was like, right, I don't really want to get bleached for a while. I'm gonna now have my time to shine with different colours. Playful, bright colours, pastel colours. Now's the time, I'm buzzing. So I went lilac. I went pink. I went like a silvery grey. I went like whiter than white. I bought so much different purple shampoo and found the one that really worked, and went pure white, which I adored. Tried blue ends and blue streaks. Eventually I went fully blue, and it was my absolute fave, and people that know me in real life will be like, shut up about your blue hair, because it's all I ever talk about. But I loved it. I remember taking the towel off my head and it was just wet, but like bright blue. It was like this, and I said to my boyfriend, this is me. I should have been born with blue hair. Like, this is so me. I can't believe it. I've never felt more me. I felt like a superhero. I just felt I'm invincible. It made me feel amazing. I loved it. It was bright blue. And then I started having fun mixing colours at home. So I remember I mixed like 3 different shades, like a dark blue, a light blue, and then a green, and I got this beautiful, beautiful turquoise colour, which I was obsessed with at the time. I'd painted our bedroom that colour, and then my hair was that colour, and oh my god, I've never got so many compliments in my life. Everyone used to come, strangers just used to come up to me of every age, so old people, young people, men, women, used to come up to me like, your hair is so cool, your hair is so different, what a beautiful bright colour, what a happy colour. And it really was, it just made me smile every time I noticed my hair in the mirror or near my face. It just made me smile. I absolutely loved how bright it was. Then I went to a job interview, and I got the job with the blue hair, and then they told me, you can't have blue hair, you've got to change it, we can't allow anything but natural hair colours. Again, this natural hair colours thing haunts me, and I was devastated, but I really wanted the job and I needed the job, and I knew that any job that I had wanted to get at that point in my life, I was probably going to not be allowed the blue hair, which I wrote a whole blog post on before because I think it's so unbelievably wrong. I hate it, and I had to do it quickly, so I begrudgingly went to my best friend's uncle's salon, which was absolutely amazing. I've only ever had amazing experiences with them, and they really looked after me. They stripped it, but blue is notoriously hard to get out of your hair, and so is green. We got it as best as we could. He then had to put like an orange on it, and then eventually a dark colour, and I cried. I cried all the way home, and I cried all that night. I felt so miserable, I felt so basic, so boring, even though it was my natural hair colour, and I don't feel that way about my natural hair colour now. I felt so me with blue hair, like, I can't explain it, it's so weird, but then to have the dark hair again, I felt out of my own skin, and I hated it. It was also that it weren't even pretty dark hair. It was in such bad condition from the amount that I bleached it and from all the times that, from the time that Tony and Guy snapped my hair. So it just looked rough. It was just like dark, patchy. The blue and the bleaching and the orange would all come through as I washed my hair, so I absolutely hated it. So I was just determined at this point, if I have to have dark hair, I at least want it to be like in good condition and look nice. So then I started growing it out. I grew it out from the roots as much as I could, because you could tell the difference between my natural hair and the dyed dark, and where all the bleach and the orange would come through. And then I cut it short again, just cut off all the dead hair. I was like, I don't mind being short, I've had short hair my whole life, on and off, so I'm fine with it. So I cut it really short, and I felt a bit better. It looked healthier, it looked thicker again. I had a little fringe cut in, and my self-esteem was a little bit boosted. I was more okay with the dark hair then. Then that eventually grew out. I still had some like dead bits, so I left them to grow out and kept like trimming it to cut off all the dead stuff, and eventually it was all my natural hair again, like grown through the roots, all natural dark hair again, and it was healthy and thick, and I was a happy bean. But then of course, you know me, I got bored again. It got to like my shoulder length. I was like, this is dull, so I got a really short bob blunt all the way around, cut in, and I felt fabulous again. I felt wonderful, I felt sexy, I felt beautiful, I felt just amazing. It felt edgy, it felt very me at the time. It was easy to look after, and that was great because I was actually just starting to get unwell without even knowing it. And yeah, I just rocked a bob. And then ever since then, it's literally just been growing out, which wasn't like a conscious decision or choice I made. It wasn't like I really wanted long hair. It's just that I got so ill then, and it was just thing after thing after thing, that my hair was literally the last thing on the list for me to worry about. I didn't even think about it, honestly. I just left it. Left it alone, and look how long it is. Down to my boobies. I went through a stage of feeling really alien in my body because of how unwell I was, and my body was changing, and I've done lots of videos all about when I first got ill. My hair was like something I didn't want to deal with, didn't have time to deal with, didn't have the energy to deal with, and also I didn't really have the confidence because of that, because of how much my illness knocked my confidence. I, for the first time in my life, felt like I can't rock a funky colour, I can't rock a cool haircut, I can't rock anything short or anything different or anything unusual. Like, I just can't, I just won't be able to pull it off. And that's the first and only time I've ever felt like that, which is what illness can do to you. And then 2 years ago I started to lose my hair, and it's funny because I found it so deeply upsetting, which shocked me because of the fact that I'd always said hair's just hair, I don't care about it, if it goes wrong, if it falls out, I don't really care. And then when it did, it really was hard, and not because of the way it looked, because it wasn't really that noticeable to anyone else, but having these huge clumps of hair just fall out in the shower was a real sign to me of how unwell I was. Now I love my hair. I do still have problems with hair loss, and I do currently have lots of scalp problems, which I talked about in my lupus update. I've actually just literally 2 days ago finished the hair treatment, so now my hair looks really gross. So apologise for that. I love my hair. I love that it gets curly when it's wet. I love that it can be big and unruly, and I love how long it's got now. And I do one day want to go platinum again, because I had plans. I genuinely had a hair plan, like what hair I was going to do next. After blue I was going to go peach, like peachy apricot, that was my dream. After that I wanted to go half and half, cut it blunt, and go half bright orange, like literally like brighter orange than this, and then the other half like bright pink, like this, like a fruit salad sweet was what I was going for. I also wanted to go like rainbow, like bright rainbow like my jumper, and also pastel rainbow. Also always thought that at one point in my life I'll shave my head completely. I just think it'll be really freeing, and I really want to try it. And I went for a huge phase when I was younger of wanting to shave half my head or my nape, and do like, because you can have like hair art shaved into the nape of your neck, which I think is so sick. So I've always wanted to do that. Yeah, that was this video. Which of my hairstyles was your favourite? Are you surprised at any of the things I did with my hair? Like, because a lot of you will only know me like this. Do you think anything didn't suit me or did suit me? Let me know in the comments below, because I'd love to have that convo with you. And what do you think I should do with my hair next? Like, out of everything you've seen, what should I try? I also just really want to go candy floss pink, like bubblegum, like that cardigan that I showed in my May favourites, that bubblegum pink. Oh, and have it all curly like candy floss. I've got so many hair ideas. Let me know what you think I should do. and I hope you're having a beautiful day. Please hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!